Alrighty, how is everybody doing? Okay. All right, I apologize. I'm running a little late. I hope everybody's Friday is doing well. It's been a long day, child. It's been a very long day. All right, let's make sure everything is on point. Make sure I can hear. Hey, ladies. Hello, Kyla, Ro. I'm doing good. How are you, Ro? Tawanda, Brianna, Ashley. Hello, everybody. Happy Venus Day. Okay, let's check. Check, check. All right. So this weather is kind of kicking my ass as far as like, I don't know if it's like the work environment is like making my throat feel really disgusting, or is like the weather change is making my throat feel really disgusting. So I'm just drinking some tea, you know. So I'm trying to regulate that. So if I cough in between, hey Bianca, how are you, sis? Michelle, greetings. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Michelle. I can't complain. Yeah, it might be both. Like the weather don't know what it want to do. One minute it's like hot as hell outside in February and March, right? Because February was like really just off-putting, like so weird. Like one minute it's really, really cold outside and you need a jacket. And then the next you can go out and wear shorts. Like it don't know what it want to do next. And so March has been kind of like chill weather, which is really, it's been really nice outside. And I love the rain. I'm not going to complain too much about the rain. But when it's like flu season mixed in with like allergy season, it's a bad combination. And then being centered around a lot of people that probably getting sick too, and people just coughing and sneezing. It's like, damn, so it was in the 70s last week, and now it's cold, but 100 at the same time. The weather don't know what it want to do. I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, it's raining. And I was like, almost didn't want to get out of bed this morning. I was like, oh, because I love the rain. It's like so relaxing. And then I looked at like the weather because I'm like, okay, I need to know like what type of stuff do I need to wear. And yesterday, even though I shouldn't have, yesterday I wore like a tank top. I had a hoodie with me because sometimes it's cold at work. But it was kind of breezy outside last night. But this morning I looked at the I looked at the weather. It was like 40 degrees, 49 or something like that degrees. I'm like, 40 degrees. I'm not complaining because like if we could push this until May a little bit, I need a little warmth. So yeah. It was freezing today. Yeah, it was. It was cold today. And it was raining all day, like off and on all day. Hello. Greetings from Australia. My accent sucks, so don't take offense. But yeah, the weather don't know what it want. One minute it's like we gonna be like really hot. Y'all wear what y'all wanna wear. Y'all can wear, shorts. Like some people was coming into work wearing shorts and shit. And like some days I was thinking like, oh, I gotta put case in point. I think it was like New Year's Day. Yeah, it was New Year's Day. And I walked out the house thinking, oh, I'm gonna wear like something warm. And I went outside and it was hot as hell. I'm like, it's January. Like it shouldn't be doing this, okay? But you know, it is what it is. I guess that's the climate change for you. I'm not a conspiracy theorist in that sense, but I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me. But I do believe that has something to do with it. So, you know, and like Mother Nature, is that feminine energy. One minute we feeling one thing, the next minute we feeling something else. So I don't know. So let me check on my fairies. Let me see the first five. Okay, I have to honor it. You guys have a whole bunch of rain on the East Coast. You guys had a low grade cyclone. Oh gosh, darn it. Aw, thank you. I feel ashy today. I feel like a little treasure troll today. I'm just like, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it this week. I'm like, I really had to push myself to go to work this week. Like, like me, like I had to have them. I'm a Taurus person. I don't know if everybody's like this, but Taurus most definitely, like, we like being in our little comfort, like being at home. Don't bother me. Just leave me alone. I don't want to answer no phone calls. I just want to be in my own little bubble of comfort. And then it's just like I gotta be like constantly around people. I just get overstimulated like a cat. Like, don't pet me there. Don't just leave me be. Let me sleep in my corner. Let me sleep in my favorite chair, my favorite couch. Like, I'm like a cat. Like, just leave me the fuck alone. But I can't. I cannot. I cannot. I cannot. I cannot. Anyway. Oh, thank you, Kyla. I appreciate that. And my accent was fine, by the way. I don't know how people feel, because some people like, I don't have an accent, but you be like, you from New York, huh? Like, you from New York, son. You like, people got accents. So I can tell when somebody's from California or what part sometimes. I could tell you from like Baltimore. I could tell Maryland, like all that. I could tell. I could tell you from New York, you from Philly. Like, I could tell. Detroit, like, just based off of the lingo too, you could tell where a person is from. So let's get into it. All right. No, I be having my days. I don't be feeling it. I don't be feeling it sometimes. Kyla, Tawanda, Brianna, Ashley, and then Michelle. So those are my 5. So if I called it your name, let me read it again. Kyla, Tawanda, Brianna, Ashley, Michelle. Those are my first 5 fairies. If you guys want to leave your one topic or one question, so I can pull that one card for you, I got you. I'm so mad because I packed some of my cards. So I wanted to do like the self-love message today, right? That's our topic. And my dumbass forgot. Like, bitch, you locked your cards. You put your cards in a box. Now I don't even know what box they in, like where, how far, how low they are. So I'm just gonna do with what I've got. I'm gonna use the chakra wisdom cards because those are really good for like healing messages and stuff like that. So we're gonna use those as our oracle card. But I did want to use one of them. I have 2 self-care decks, and I was like, I want to use them. Then I forgot that they're packed. They're packed. So damn. Damn, damn, damn. Okay. Um, I know it'd be the people with the accents that be like, I don't have an accent. It's like, maybe because your environment, like, you just used to it. Because some people might be like, where are you from? And then you be like, why are you asking that? And it could be because you just sound different from like where they're from. Like, that makes sense. Um, Boston. Oh yeah, Boston people have like a strong accent too. They sure do. They give it away every time. Um, Texas, New Orleans, those two. Shoot, I love country accents though. It's like my favorite. Um, Anything you need to hear, Celeste, what message the spirit have for you, Brianna General. You can. Well, you can leave the emojis. I know they don't have like. I wish they could. I wonder if I can do that. I wonder if I can fix my emojis. I don't know if they allow you to do that on YouTube. I'd have to look into that. But that would be a good thing to have some fairy emojis like a part of the live chat. That would be cool. Um, Anything exciting to look forward to? Michelle, who is coming towards you in love? Boston accents. Mm, mm. It depends because some people like Mark Wahlberg's accent. Like, I don't know if he's from Boston specifically. Is he from? I think he is from Boston. I can't stand the way he talks. Maybe it's just him because I don't feel that way about his brother. His brother's an actor too. I don't feel that way about him. But something about Mark Wahlberg's voice just like irritates me. I don't know why. It's just one of those voices. I really just I can't. I like Jersey accents too. Like, they're very like very colorful accents, very character, has a lot of character. Like the Mob Wives, Big Ange, I love Big Ange, but it was somebody else. I think it's Drita. I don't know why. Like I don't know. I just like the way she talks. I don't know, but I like those accents too. All right. No, I think it is Mark Wahlberg does bother me for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. He playing some good movies sometimes, but it's like his voice is just like, oh hell no. I just like, especially in Boogie Nights, like he just sounds too much. Like I just couldn't do it. Like I couldn't. I'm like, I can't take you seriously. I don't know if that was like him putting on for the movie, like his character was supposed to sound like that, but I just was like really irritated by it. I just couldn't. I could not. Okay. All right. Enough is enough. Let me get into it. Kyla, you're first. Anything that you need to hear? Anything that Kyla. Ooh, Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords. Bottom of the deck. Ten of Wands. King of Wands. There might be like could be task or something that you're being it's something that you need to do now before it overwhelms you later. This might be like a right here right now type of message. Like it could be something that you know you need to take care of that if you don't it might be like a stress thing later. um I do get like to pace yourself to like not overextend your energy as well though, so it's kind of like tend to what you need to in a moderation in a timely manner or something about management, like managing your energy or time or like a task specifically. I don't know if it has anything to do with like a car or transportation or it's just like something that requires your immediate attention. um Not to delay it, not to waste time, not to procrastinate. Oh, you just got well, yeah, I don't know what that has to do with anything, whether it's like, when you get a new car, there's things that you gotta like insurance. Oh, okay. Yeah, it might be that, and it could be like other things, that come along with having a new car. Like tend to those things. So that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, do it, get it done now, don't procrastinate. Because some people forget stuff like that or they just don't do it. And then if something happens, then it's like you're forced into it. You gotta do it now. Like get that shit out the way because don't let Mercury retrograde come when you ain't had shit done because it's gonna make you get some shit done now, okay? For sure with transportation and for sure with electronics. I know that all too well. Like anytime I've ever procrastinated on something like that during a Mercury retrograde, I break phones, my phone just shut down. Or one time like I literally cracked my whole phone to where I couldn't use it to where it forced me to get a new phone because I knew I needed a new phone and I was just like, oh, I'll do it later. Oh, let me hold on to this one because I'm lazy. And it's like, okay, bitch, on the fucking concrete on the sidewalk, done. It just happens like that. Okay. All right. Yeah, I hope that was helpful. Or that was just like a little reminder for you. It's on March 14th. Oh, damn. Damn. It seems like we have Mercury retrogrades every 5 business days. Like for real. Damn. Okay. Um, let's see. Celeste, what messages does Spirit have for me? A few of you guys have just general questions. So let's see what messages does the divine have for you. You're welcome. My pleasure. We in that Venus retrograde. I need to do like a reading on that. How long is Venus retrograde popping? If anybody want to do a quick astrology check for me, how long do we got in Venus retrograde? And if it's a shadow phase, when is that going on? 9 of Cups. The Knight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Top of the deck, 4 of Pentacles. So what do you need to know? What spirit? What messages? I don't think this has anything to do with this song, but it's like an old song. I forgot who sings it, but that song I keep holding on. It's like an old, like, like a old soul song back in the day. Um, I feel like you might come to realize something about yourself, like a precious something that you hold dear about yourself, or something that it's almost like, how do I explain this? These cups represent like your peace, your joy, like your aspirations, your level of intimacy that you share with others that you love and care, like just your energy, the gift that it is. When you're in that state of love of self and love of other people, like that good energy, like not everybody deserves to experience this from you. Not everybody should be at the table drinking out of your cups unless you say, hey, you want some? But some people just be like, let me get that, and they just drink it and they don't ask. It's like spirit is funny. I don't know why, but this is just what I'm getting. Like, how sometimes you have your own food that you buy just for yourself. Let's say like you love apple juice or orange juice, right? And you put it in the back of the refrigerator, and you might even put your name on it and be like, don't touch this, this is mine. Like Eve on Barbershop. Who drank my apple juice, right? Like you clearly know that it's somebody else's shit, but you just go on and just drink it. You don't even ask. Like the audacity of people. It's like your energy is that apple juice, and then people just go in and be like, let me just take some. No, I don't even try to ask if I can join in and have any of it. It's just real selfish, right? So I feel like your energy, it might be easier for you to maneuver in a way where not everybody gets to have a sip or glass of your energy. Like not everybody gets to sip on that. It's an acquired taste. It's very high, and it's the aged wine. Like not everybody deserves to have some of that. So I'm getting that type of energy. I don't know what why. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, because I feel like there's people that don't really have the level of consciousness that you have to understand the value of your own time and your own energy. Some people don't even understand the value of their own energy sometimes. So I just kind of get like this person, or just people. I feel like this is an archetype of people that are just kind of explorative and don't really they don't really, it's almost like people that just go out and be like, "Ooh, I'll try anything once. Let me sip on this. Let me eat this. Let me do this." And they don't ask. They don't try to learn anything about like, what is this that I'm sipping on? What is this that I'm eating? What is this delicacy? They don't even care. They just, and then they might be allergic to the shit, or overindulge where they get a little too drunk, or they got to go to the hospital for alcohol poisoning. Just people that don't walk with self-awareness can take more than what they can then chew, or it's like they come off very offensive to people. They don't understand like the type of energy that they put out, or how they might rub people the wrong way because they lack that self-awareness. And you might have an understanding of like, okay, these type of people, like I know how to move with you, right? Or I'm keeping this shit to myself. You can't have none of this. Like this is valuable. I ain't got too much energy to spend. You can't sip on this, okay? This is not a fucking communion. You're not gonna be eating up the crackers and drinking the juice and the wine. So I hope that makes sense. Spiritual crackheads, yeah. Then they just be tweaking and they don't even know why. Like, I want to share this real quick for the ladies. If you've ever had like a person, it could be a man or a woman, like whomever you like to date, whatever your preference is, right? Let's say that person is like real, like just stuck on you, and they don't know why, and they just assume you put a spell on them. Like I've had a couple of men say that, and I'm like, ain't nobody putting no spell on you, ninja. Like, and I feel like if you're not at a certain level within yourself, like spiritual awareness, you'll think that you know you'll think that, oh, something is going on, instead of like, okay, let's say for instance, maybe you're awakening something in this person's heart chakra that they've never felt. It may be healing them in some kind of way, or I don't fucking know. Like you might have conversations that tap on something that they've been thinking about and feeling, because if you're dealing with a spiritual person, naturally, like if you're a spiritual person, spiritual man or woman, and you're in tune with yourself, or you're intuitive, or you have spiritual gifts. Because I remember I told y'all about this guy that I was friends with. We were talking, like getting to know each other, but it wasn't deep or anything yet. Hey, Mars. He straight up was like thinking it was so cute that I could have dreams that would, like premonitions and stuff in my dreams. He thought that shit was cute when I told him about it till I seen what the fuck he was doing. And I just told him, like, hey, you went to the club last night? Because I had a dream about it. And I could tell that ninja was so freaked out. Like, he tried to gaslight me just so he can, like, break away. And I'm like, it's all good. I get it. I had no business talking to him. He was one of them ninjas. I think he's from New York or something. He just one of them ninjas, the hood niggas that don't know nothing. Not every hood ninja is like that, but he's just one of them ones that's just like all street, nothing else. Like all I know is the streets. I don't know nothing about spirituality connecting. I know about Jesus, but even then, you don't know nothing about no Jesus. But I go to church and my grandmama go to church type shit. So yeah, he ghosted real quick, and then he tried to gaslight. Oh, you thought you was the shit because your birthday was coming up. Like, that doesn't make sense. But okay, I'll let you have that. Have fun. So we had to let him go. We had to let son go. Yeah, he thought he was doing something, but he was freaked out when I like, and I wasn't even saying it to be spiteful. I was just like, because I asked him, he was like, oh, I lost my phone or dropped my phone or something at the club. I was so mad, blah blah blah, and I was like, oh, you went out, and I said, oh, I had a dream about it. He was like, this bitch, like I gotta get away from this half because yeah, it'll run people off. It will. And that's a good thing. That's the ones you don't want because it's like that's the thing about spiritual people, spiritual women, downloads. You just get them. You don't even got to ask God or spirit, especially if you want to know if your person up to no good. God gonna lead you to it. It happens so many times in my life, even when I wasn't even conscious aware that I had certain gifts, other than having the ability to dream, and have premonitions. That was the only gift that I was aware of at a point where I was still low, in my little low, little, you know, dumb bitch season in life. But yeah, all the time. Like my ex would get caught doing stuff all the time, and I wouldn't even be looking for the shit. It would just come. Like it's like you just playing with yourself. You just telling on yourself. I don't got to do nothing, or I'll just have a dream about it, or you just gonna tell on yourself in so many ways. So I love it. You gotta love it. You wanted to sip on this wine, Ninja. Well, there you go. All right. Brianna, general message, and then Michelle Ashley. Okay, general message for Brianna. I know I'll be talking too much, y'all. Please forgive me. Yeah, I do readings, but we're gonna do this collective stuff. I'm gonna do the fairies, the ones that left the fairy emoji, and then we'll get into the collective. But I do readings, yes. You had three cards that came out. Six of Wands. I'll take that one because that's like technically the first card. And then the Six of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. There might be someone that either has your attention or they're also paying attention to you that may try to like put themselves out there in a way like they might do things here and there. Um my stories are just yeah, they're I can go on for days. Well, I could talk about my dumb bitch season in life when I was like in my let's say like 18 into my like mid 20s when I was just drinking dumb bitch juice and stewing in it. Um yeah, but they're all learning lessons though. It's part of the journey. But yeah, so this could be someone that's trying to either kind of get your attention in some kind of way by making little kind gestures here and there. Could be compliments, it could be holding doors open for you, it could be um little things like just being kind where you might misinterpret it as oh they're just being nice sometimes, but then again maybe they're not. This could be someone in either in your work environment. If they're not in your work environment, it's like they're trying to work to get in your sphere into your space, meaning like I'm trying to get to know you, or I'm trying to form some sort of connection with you, maybe that's a little more personal than what is. So I'm going to do things that are they're not overtly romantic or flirty. They feel like kindness. Does that make sense? They feel like consideration, like I'm being considerate of you. Okay. Yeah. The first year of the 30s. Oh yes. Yeah. I be thinking like I'm in my 30s. I'm almost gonna be like sooner surely than not. I'll be 40, and then I'm like, am I still gonna be like still sipping on dumb bitch stew, like, or am I going to be kind of seasoned and you know got it a little bit? But I feel like we need to give ourselves grace, especially when we're in our 20s and 30s still. Even 40s. 40s is young to like I think 50 is young. Like I be looking at some 50-year-olds, I'm like, you still, like me and my aunt, we be kicking it and stuff. Like she's in her 50s and she don't look like it. You're only as old as you make yourself. And that's why I live by that now. But yeah, sis, I do feel like this is someone that is feeling you, that's trying to get your attention, has your attention as well. If this is someone that is used to other people chasing them, or if you're not used to people, like you're used to kind of putting yourself in a position that not like you're easy. I don't want to say that, so please don't take it that way. But kind of like sometimes we can be very accommodating of people, like, oh, maybe I'm just too intimidating, let me make myself more warming, when it's like, no, if a person really wants to get to know you, they'll break the ice, or they'll get out of their own head or out of their insecurities, and they'll get to know you and find out whether you guys vibe or you don't, or you're open or you're not open. But I feel like this person is someone that is used to people coming after them. You may not be doing that. And I feel like Spirit also wants you to allow somebody to show you some effort too. And this doesn't feel like this, like I said, flirty and this cheesy, trying to like almost like, oh, you just doing all this because you're trying to get in my pants. Feels like somebody that's being genuine. I hope that makes sense, because it feels kind of like, again, like courteous energy, like someone that is considerate. It's not flirty like that, really. Even though they might make compliments, it seems very lighthearted. You know how some people just compliment you and it's not like, ooh, girl, oh, this, like, what's your name? Like, I feel like people that are genuine in compliments is what I learned about men in particular. When they make comments, you can tell when it's genuine versus when you just trying to you trying to do something. You got an agenda. Where they can just like come by and say, oh, I like blah blah blah, or you look really nice today, or this and that, and they smile and they just go on about their business, like it was just a friendly gesture. But be like, what you doing, what you up to, what you about to get into, like, oh, you just said that, just, and then I bet you if you say, I'm just not interested, then they'll say that you're just everything under the sun but beautiful, right? You're just a scum of the fucking earth after that. You just a cabbage patch in sheep's clothing. I don't know. I love cabbage patch. I don't know why I use that. I love me some cabbage patches. I love me a cabbage patch. So that's what I'm getting for you, Miss Brianna, Ashley, and Michelle. So Michelle, who's coming towards you this month? Ashley, anything exciting to look forward to? And then we'll get into the collective readings. I appreciate people that's hanging out, because I do a lot of talking. I feel like I be off center sometimes with the topics, but all right. Miss Michelle, who is coming towards you this month? What is this month? March. You're welcome. March. The Chariot. I love this card. I have a love for the Chariot card. 4 of Wands and 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So who's coming towards you? Could be someone that's a little different from you, but you guys may have similar interests, similar goals when it comes to like where your joy comes from. Like you guys both might prioritize like your friends or your family. You guys might kind of share like a similar taste in like dating and romance, or you might be in the same space when it comes to what you're looking for when it comes to dating. It could feel like a relief. I feel like it's going to be one of those energies that feel either too good to be true in the beginning, because it might move in a way it's not too fast, but it does feel like there's a lot of potential for this to be more than what it is. Um, so whoever this person is, they do have a vibe. Because I want to say, Because honestly, like, I know you asked that, but it doesn't feel like it's this month. I could be wrong, but it doesn't feel like it's this month. It feels summery to me, like summertime-ish, like late spring into early summer. It doesn't feel like it's March per se, but that doesn't mean that it can't be that. But I'm more so getting like a summer energy. You could meet this person in an environment that's like comfortable or familiar, or you know people, but it's gonna feel like something almost like it's too good to be true. Like it feels kind of honeymoonish almost in a sense. But I'm not really getting that it's something wrong with it. Like, oh, it ain't nothing, it's not special. It is. I feel like it is significant in a way, like it's a pleasing connection, whether it's gonna last long or not. There is some sort of like feeling of home, or feeling like this could be it, because I don't know why I get like there's a hesitance behind it a little bit. But I don't feel like that overrules everything though. It's gonna feel like you and this is somebody you gonna get along with quite well. Seven of Swords, yeah, it's like, I don't know about you. I don't know. This is too good to be true. I say be open. And if it comes to the point where you guys are on the path and it's moving, and then at one point one of you feels like, okay, I want to go in a new direction. If it's not in the direction that resonates with you, or maybe they don't resonate with where you're going, like accept that, because I don't get like this is just a waste of time. Whatever this connection is, whether it's long term or not, I feel like it's something beautiful in it, you know. Excuse me. So that's what I'm getting. All right. Behind the taste and energy, it was too strong to handle. I just read that to Wanda. That's funny. Yeah. All right. Miss Ashley, what good things you have to look forward to? Let's see. You're welcome. And Nine of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom, the Eight of Wands at the top of the deck. There's good things on the other side of something that you fear. It's like you count yourself out sometimes. You might kind of hide behind like what has held you back in the past. As long as you like hide behind that, it's going to continue to keep you back, because it's almost like I don't know why I'm hearing the word mirage. I don't even know if that's even the right term for what I'm picking up. But as long as you hide behind that, it keeps you kind of in this space of not experiencing something that would be beautiful for you to experience. And I feel like as long as you understand that you hold value in every space that you're in. And as I'm saying this to you, I got to say this to myself and anybody else that needs to take this message for themselves, is that you hold value in any space that you occupy. Sometimes you may feel like, oh, my voice is too small, or I don't contribute anything into a space, or, I'm just something to kind of just the wallflower. No, that is not you. That is not you. So you have a lot of good things to look forward to. And I feel like it's not just one thing to look forward to. It's like things that you want to experience. It's like it's kind of a held up energy until you acknowledge like why you're holding yourself back. And also when you acknowledge and you affirm to yourself that I hold value in every space that I occupy. If you need to discern into or dissect into that, sit with that, go within and reflect. What is that value? Or it may not just be one thing, but just knowing just in general, and it's just enough just to say to and know within yourself that I hold value in every space that I occupy. Yes. Yes. You hold value in every space that you occupy. This might be a little affirmation card, because my affirmation for the Queen of Wands lately has been I don't chase, I attract. So I feel like the Queen of Pentacles is I hold value in every space I occupy. That's gonna be our affirmation for the Queen of Wands. We're gonna come up with some others for the other court cards, but yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's just tapping into it. I know that feeling. Like, trust me, we have like this little chat. Every time I get back into the world, the hamster wheel of life, it reminds me, that I'm human, right? Sometimes I'd be like in my own bubble, but then you get back around other people and it's like you have to face certain challenges within yourself, right? So at work we have like this chat where everybody just talks like, oh, my system is down, or oh, people just be joking, kikiing, talking about, what they just experienced or whatever at work. And I'll go in there and there's a guy at work, like he real funny. Like he like one of the people that everybody know and everybody talk to. Like he real cool. And he put something funny in the chat. Cause cause one of the departments next to us, they get to play music and I'm kind of jealous. Like we get to watch movies and shit. Like I'm like, oh, y'all playing the last airbender, like, oh, okay, that's y'all playing Power Rangers and shit. I like it here. But then I heard them like playing like what's his name, Thomas Mutt. I'm like, "Ugh, I'm jealous." And then they're listening like Chris Brown and they listen to Michael Jackson. Like soon as they had Don't Stop Till You Get It, I was like, bitch, I need to transfer to where y'all at. And he made this comment about like, oh, they're playing Michael Jackson, I'm about to transfer. We just like kikiing in the chat. But then when it's like I have to put myself out there and like say something, I don't want to, even though it's like if I need help with something, and it's not because I'm ashamed to ask for help. It's just like I don't want to put myself out there in the chat because it's like almost like a social setting chat type thing, and I'm just like, I don't want to participate because playing yourself down and be like, oh, nobody cares. It's a challenge. I understand that. It's. I don't feel like self-esteem is something that will always be a challenge for you sometimes. Like there will always be those moments where you'll be tested in some kind of way, whether you feel like you're enough or you're not, or you might get a little envious or jealous of somebody, or you feel like you're left out, like, and then you got to center yourself back again and remind yourself of the love that you have for you and why you're valuable. Yeah, the participation thing sometimes is not, it's not fun all the time. It's not. It ain't. It's not. I understand. So when the more like, because sometimes it can come off as like people don't understand you, but if you're not sure of yourself, and when you express from that place, it's going to be a little hard for people to understand you as well. Until you accept yourself, you'll get confident in that, and whoever understand it, they understand it, and if they don't, they're not for you. As long as you're playing small, you're going to keep yourself kind of in that shadow space. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Yes, I hold value in every space that I occupy. Shoot, put us all in a crowd, and technically we're small, but we're not small, right? It's all about perspective. If you were to look at a crowd of people, let's say like at a music festival, and you're in a helicopter, people gonna look small like ants. And then it kind of puts things into perspective, like nobody's better or bigger than anybody. But then when you're in the midst of it, you're looking at everybody else as like they're greater, they're bigger than you, and you don't see yourself in that space. You're not seeing yourself as a valuable addition to that space. You got to shift that perspective. So let's go ahead and get into the collective read. I almost jumped into, let's do the ritual. Like, fuck the collective read. No, we ain't gonna do that because that's not why we ain't here to just be like, fuck that. All right. I had to turn up my lighting on this little thing. I had this little iPhone since 2070, like 1977. I didn't have this iPhone. Anyway, let's see. You don't update goofy phone. Oh, I guess it said, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. All right. I'm glad it made sense. So I need to do the timestamp. We are at, I can't see. I think that says 39. Okay. If anybody got the hookup at Lynn Crafters, let me know. Because I need some glasses. All right, so let's get into the reading. So this is gonna be our fairy dust and boundaries. Okay, who we need to pay our fairy dust? Like y'all could, I just pay you in dust. Okay, or shoot, my fairy dust ain't gonna be wasted on you type thing. So anyway, this is about boundaries. Okay, so this is a self love reading or a form of self love, which is implementing boundaries. Okay, that's or just sharpening it. Let's get into it. So let's tap into the energy vampire in your life or the vampires, okay, in your life. Who or what is draining your energy or what you need to be mindful of or who do you need to be mindful of? Let's get into that. Let's see. As a collective of those that can resonate in their own unique way, Divine Source God, our divine team come together for the help of those to help them heal, ground their energy, to progress forward, to thrive, to have healthy boundaries around them, be discerning of their connections and environments. Who are these energy vampires in the collective's lives that, everyone can resonate with in their own unique way? Let's explore that. No, let's see. Queen of Wands, Seven of Cups, the Emperor, and the Hanged Man. Wow. All right. This could be family. It's kind of looking like a lot of people. Remember I said I was like energy vampire. Nah, it's giving it feel like vampires, like a whole network. No, I'm just saying. Maybe a few. Okay. Some of you guys, this is a superior at work. Some of you guys, this is ugh. Mm. For y'all that still be going to church, like there's some energy vampires at church. Ugh. I mean, I'm not surprised because there's a lot of, dark people that be in the church too. Like, yeah, I'm not surprised. But it could be someone that's like a superior. Some of you guys is like a father. Someone this could be like a husband, an ex-husband, a baby father energy. For some of you, you already know at least one of these energies, they're draining your energy. Um, it's someone that wants you to constantly think that you're stuck or something, or like you're just in this space that you'll never be able to graduate from. I'm hearing graduate out of or progress out of. It's like you'll always be here, and that's not true. Especially you'll know if this person says shit like that to you, um like make it hard, make you think that you're never going to exceed or excel out of a space that you're in. And that could have been their rhetoric almost maybe most of your life or the time that you've known this person. Is like this stagnant energy, and it's because they think that they're stuck. They think that they feel like it's a great sacrifice for them to make a change in their life, and they feel like they got to be selfish, and them thinking that they have to be selfish, or they're thinking that if I give to other people then that's stupid on my behalf and that's dumb and I lose my power. No, it's all about, again, discernment and boundaries. So this person, they might think that they have boundaries, but in some kind of way this person is very selfish. So they might even demand from people, but they don't want to give nothing. Okay. The Queen of Wands and the Seven of Cups. The Queen of Wands could be someone that in your life could seem like a lot. Their energy doesn't come off as negative per se, but it's like it's highly energetic to where it can drain you, or this is someone that has to constantly be out and about. Everybody has to see. I used to have a friend like this, and I don't feel like this is someone that is trying to take from you. I don't feel like they're a malicious energy, but there's something about their energy as well that is, it takes too much. It's almost like a person that is very, again, that self-centered energy. I had a friend like this a long time ago. Like we worked together, and she had problems. Like she would come out and say that she had a low self-esteem, and I would have never known because she was always so bubbly. She could talk to anybody. I was the type of person that just don't just talk and just walk up to anybody like that. Like she would talk to everybody in the office, everybody outside of our department. Like she would just be talking to everybody. And one day she said, I'm so tired of like being nice to everybody and people treating me like shit. And I'm thinking to myself, like, people like you. I don't get what you're saying. Like, yeah, there might have been some people that were snooty and, didn't talk to her. But for the most part, a lot of people were like, cool with her and talked to her and stuff like that. But she was like, I'm just so tired of it. So she overextended her energy. And sometimes it's like those people's energy can be very overwhelming, or this could be someone that has to be the center of everything, or they don't know how to just be present. They don't know how to be in their own company. They have to constantly be going out. They have to have all these people in their circle. They got to be going out all the time, dating this person, dating that person. They have to keep a busy life. That's somebody that's distracted and constantly needing something to stimulate themselves. So if there's people in their network that's constantly stimulating them, they're like this main character energy. That is an energy drain, I feel like. Some of these people, you might be having dreams about them. Seven of Cups. um Maybe a multitude of dreams. Very vivid dreams. So these are the energy vampires in your life. Okay. Some, I feel like, yes, they have a negative energy. Some of them, they don't know, they're not aware of the energy that they're in. Okay. Silence, if you sit with yourself, if you feel like you need to separate from people sometimes, or certain people, just to be by yourself, that is how you know that they're draining your energy. If you feel like you need to take a break, or you just want to be in silence, you don't want to talk to them, you don't want to be around them, you don't want to hear them, like, that's a sign that they might be draining your energy. I'm not getting this damn card. Like, more than one card fell. The miser, yeah. That selfish energy, that person that just wants to take, take, take. They don't want to give shit. They want everybody to give something to them. It's like, what can you do for me? It's like, hold on. Can't get it. I look crazy as hell doing that. I almost broke my arm. I'm just like, letting go. It's like the Eight of Cups. If you feel like emotionally it's too much, and you just like, I I have to just, I cannot. That is how you know. There could be even like, this person makes you cry, one of these energy vampires, but it's giving like, the miser energy reminds me of the girlfriend off of Friday, where she was like, what you gonna do for me? Like, she was about to give Craig the money, and she was like, what you gonna give me? Like, she might have been trying to be, suggestive, sexually suggestive, but it still gives that, like, that user energy. Like, I only do something for you if you do something for me. Like, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, instead of just being like, I'll do this for you out of the kindness of my heart because I want to. I'm not keeping tabs on it. Energy vampires. Okay. So your guardian, what boundary needs to be set? The limit that you need to enforce. What is that? What boundary needs to be set? Maybe with these energies, and maybe just in general. Let's see. What boundaries need to be set for this collective spirit? The Nine of Swords, the Lovers, the Fool, the Devil. It's like, I love you and everything, but you toxic as a motherfucker. You stress me out, I could have love for you from a distance, but motherfucker, you toxic, and I can't be around that. I need to be free. I need my energy to be free. It's like, if it just keeps you just constant, like, people that just give you that headache, you know, them people, like, no matter what you do, it's never enough, or they always got some problems. Like, you could just be there for them, and they just choose to always be like, well, that's just life. It's just shitty. I'm just going to dwell in my shit, or it's everybody else's fault. Like, them people that's like, oh, my life is fucked up because everybody, like, okay, granted, we all got shit. We got people in our life that can be that foot on your neck, those type of people in your life. But it's like, do you believe you got a strength enough to like overcome that or work past it? instead of saying, oh, I'm just going to be like this because, my mom and my dad was like this, or, my ex did this and this person did this and this person said this. Are you going to stay in that? Like, you're just this victim. Like, where's the power in that? Power, you're taking your power back by taking your peace within yourself. It's not about, oh, because you just fighting fire with fire. Like, oh, if my ex was toxic, let me be toxic back. If you're trying to get back at your ex, you're trying to get back at this person, or I'm gonna just treat everyone like shit because this one person did this to me, or because I'm upset with the world, you cut me off in traffic. You know, that you gonna give your power away to everyone else, and you're never gonna get anywhere with yourself as long as you play that victim, because you're constantly gonna be in that subordinate, that just down in the ground, just you got my foot on my neck and it's all because of you. And the only way I can feel powerful is if I fight back. No, no. The only way that you're going to feel powerful is when you walk in peace and you leave what that was in the dust. You just leave it in dust. It's not something to overextend your energy. Like, Pack Light by Erica Badu, you know, I love that song, Bag Lady. Like, the baggage. People can sense the baggage on people sometimes, and it's like you just walk around with that energy, and it's repelling, you know? You gotta unpack all of that shit. You don't want to walk around carrying all that energy. And the part that I love is the one of the parts I love in that song is where she said, "Bag lady, you gonna miss your bus. You can't hurry up because you got too much stuff. You gonna miss what's for you. You're getting on track with your path and your journey. When you got too much baggage, you can't even get to that place where you need to be because you got shit holding you back that you're allowing to hold you back." And I know it feels like chastisement, and it feels like, oh, bitch, who are you to say that to me? Because accountability feels like a parent pointing their finger at you. It hurts to like turn the mirror towards self and be like, okay, yeah, this shit happened to me, but you know, am I that am I that strict, like I'm that restricted in life where I can't see past my shit, and like, or I can't say to myself, yeah, that happened to me, but I'm not going to allow that to dictate my life and my future. I have too much going for myself to even worry about other people or try to get back at the people that hurt me or prove anything to them. It's like, let me prove to myself that I can be a better person. Like, you're not healed if you're thinking about how can I get revenge on my ex or all my haters, and oh, I'm a prove to the people that told me I wasn't going to be shit. Like, yeah, egotistically that shit might feel good, but at the end of the day, you still care. You still give a fuck what other people think about you. And there's still that room of you still haven't worked on that part of yourself that accepts yourself, regardless of what people say and think about you. Especially the people that don't even fucking matter. It shouldn't matter. Like, why are you giving your power away to them? Like, they should be a non fucking factor in your reality, like, at all. They shouldn't even cross your mind. Like, who the fuck, like, they shouldn't be anything to you. And the thing is, people are always going to have something to say about you. People are always going to have an opinion about your life, what you should or you shouldn't do. But at the end of the day, if your life is centered around what's for you and what's healthy for you, what the fuck does it matter? What does it matter? Half the time, people that just be like, oh, you should, why are you trying to do that? You ain't never going, because they ain't never, they're not trying to do anything different with their life. They're not trying to be better. So of course they're going to try to discourage you and tell you you ain't going to be nothing, and you can't have this, or you're stupid, and you're this, you're that, because that's a projection of how they feel about themselves. So people that have that type of energy, those are people that you don't even should give a fuck about what they have to say. Like, I understand a person that you look up to that has something going on and they're a healthy person, or a person that genuinely is there for you and cares about you, to care about making them proud, or an inch of what they think because you love them. But the people that don't love you back or don't exhibit or show any type of love towards you or themselves, who gives a fuck what they talking about? Like, who cares? Like, that's like listening to a drunkard on the street that's out of their rabbit ass mind. Like, why the fuck you listening to them? You know what I mean? Like, why? Why are we listening to spiritual crackheads, as Tawanda said? Like, why are we listening to them? Like, they don't even know what they're talking about. Like, they hate themselves. So why listen to people like that? They live in a dusty reality. So if they're not contributing anything of positivity or encouragement or love, support, they don't fucking matter. They don't. Simple as that. They do not matter. All right. So, how to protect your aura? How to protect your energy? What's the shield? What we got to do? A practical way of managing your energy and protecting it. What we need to do? Oh, okay. The Fool again. Pack light, child. You got to pack light. Like, unpack. Don't carry that shit on your back, okay? If somebody try to put it on your back, like, here, carry my bag for me, like, no, bitch, no. You gonna carry your own shit, okay? I'm not doing it for you. You gotta unpack. I'll help you out. We can unpack together, but you ain't gonna let you ain't no. The Seven of Swords. Yeah. Keep a little bit to yourself too. This is another thing I'll be learning. Like, share what you feel comfortable with sharing, or what it's like. It's not something that's going to make or break you. It's like, we can have these conversations, but I'm not going to be just going into depth telling you every little thing that I'm doing, everything that I got going on. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Especially to people that don't have your best interest, or they're already low vibrational. It's like, you can't share certain things, especially good news. Um, you got to kind of move silently with certain people. In this day and age on social media, everybody likes to post every motherfucking thing that they're doing, they got going on, because we feel like, oh, we got to prove something. But as soon as you got to prove something, then people all up in your business, or people, negative energy. And it's not to say that you should be afraid to be open, but naturally, I feel like a wise person knows to keep certain things sacred to themselves. You know what I mean? Like, not everything needs the gaze of the collective, especially because not everybody's gaze is positive. Some of it is just evil eye in you, okay? You know? So you got the Judgment card as well. Your protective shield is definitely going to be discernment and listening. Listening to spirit, listening to your intuition, right? Wise counsel, your divine team. Um, Listening to what people are saying, because you got to listen, you got to pay attention to people. Like, if you notice a person that's always talking about somebody else behind their back, most likely they're talking about you. So why would you be telling them your business or the secret things you got going on? You can tell the tone of how a person thinks and feels about others by the way that they talk about them. So it's like, why do you think why do you think you're the exception to the rule, that this person wouldn't be that way towards you? I always pay attention to people, that how they treat the people that they love. Not saying that every person in your life should be treated like a prince or a princess, because some people are assholes, even our own flesh and blood. Um, but like a person that's just rude to people, like, I get really turned off by people that lack kindness, people that are rude. Like, you know, some people are just awkward. Like, sometimes I'm awkward with people too. Like, I'm not the most, hey girl, what's up? Like, in everybody's face, and but I'll smile at people at least. Like, I'll give you a smile, or I'll say hello, or I'll open the door for a person if they're behind me or something. Like, simple shit. I don't like people that are just like rude. People that are angry all the time and just like spewing like hatred everywhere. Like, I can't stand people like that. Like, that energy just, it's like, it's not peaceful. It brings like a darkness into a space and into environment in people's lives, or someone that's always got some drama. Like, I can't have that. I don't get entertained by that. Like it gives me anxiety. And I feel like that's how you know that it's an energy drain. Like if it causes you to feel a dis-ease within yourself or discomfort, or you feel drained, feel tired. You just get to that place where you want to just detach. And I feel like detachment is also your protective shield energetically, is detaching from certain things that take from you. Sometimes, like, I used to binge watch certain YouTube videos like that always talked about certain things with women in the collective, and it was making me like very distrustful of men, and like thinking very negatively. um I don't know, should I be transparent with this? Damn, I'm gonna just be transparent. It's healing. Hey, why not? I'm gonna be honest. Like, content that always talks about how black men don't like black women, and like, oh, this, they talk about black women this and they can't stand, and just getting all hyped up. And that's not the majority of the collective. And like getting all engulfed in that, and it kind of makes you feel like a not a dislike, but just a disappointment, and then feeling like, oh, I guess like no, and you just start looking out for stuff like that, and you start noticing, oh, he must not like, just getting into that energy. It's very negative to focus on that so much. That type of energy, or just watching content about, oh, all men are cheaters, or men don't like women, they hate their wives. That's a percentage of men. That's not every man, right? That's like that. It's a media programming, you know what I mean? Like you're only focusing on a demographic. It's like a small group, but it looks greater and it looks big if that's all you're watching, that's all you're seeing or you're looking at. You're not looking at the reality of things. You know what I mean? So just watching that, manosphere stuff, and the women talking about, oh, men do this, and the women on TikTok like, my husband hates me and he didn't really love me, and men just use you. They're just, and it makes you go, "Ooh, no, I don't know. I might do this single thing forever. I ain't this desperate, you know." But if that's all you focus, like if it's it could be anything you're watching. It could be anything you're listening to, music wise, or on the news. It could be people in your environment, things that you're reading. You have to be very careful of what you allow in your spirit and your mind, because I felt the conviction like, you need to stop watching this type of shit. Like it would, like, once you watch some one or like two times, and you just start just watching the shit, just start popping up, channels like this, like, and you'll swear up and down, like, you know, it just makes you go, oh, okay, well, black when we just motherless children out here, ain't nobody want us, right? If you sit and watch this content all the time, or, oh, the solution is just don't date black men ever, if that's what you want to do. Like, I'm not saying like you have to do that, but if that's something that discourages you, because that type of content, and then social media real slick with it. If you watch something negative, it'll start showing you more of it, and it's like a triggering thing, like, oh, we're going to show you the comments where black men are talking about black women being ugly, and their hair, and they're too dark, and they're not this, and it's just like, and some of that stuff is just bots too, and it's just so demonic, because like youtube YouTube be like having these bots, and they'll just come like at the snap of a finger, just all kind of crazy shit, and it's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like demonic technology almost, in a sense. Like it knows how to, like Kevin Samuels, he took on a demonic energy that I just don't agree with. Like he took on this energy that was so nasty against women, and specifically black women. Like I don't know what everybody's thing is with, like, I don't get what the whole market of, like, oh, we have to attack black women. Like it's just something that everybody, it's like a trend. I don't know if it just helps motherfuckers go viral. I don't get it. But if you pay attention to that type of energy all the time, it'll it'll fuck with you a little bit. And at the same time, it's kind of laughable, because it's like, why? like race is such a thing that it should be celebrated. Everyone should celebrate themselves, but instead of that, it's like it's this demonic thing of separation and discrimination. And I just don't understand the energy. I don't get it. But if you pay attention to that type of content, it will fuck with you. And that's something that I was like, wait a minute, you watching this stuff a little too often, and you're getting engulfed in it. It's okay to have awareness and shed light onto things, and things, just discerning different energies and things like that. But to get all engulfed in that and make it your reality, you got to be careful with that. So that's my testimony. Like that, I don't know what it is. It's just like it, because people are like, oh, don't make it about race. But it's like, if you're not a black woman, you don't get it. Like you'll never know what it's like. Like it's hard enough being a woman as is, and some people might beg to differ, like, oh, women got it easy, but not necessarily. And on top of that, you're you're a black woman, and that's a whole nother thing. Like it's a beautiful thing. I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world. I wouldn't trade being anyone else. At the same time, like, we're not going to just brush it under the rug and act like it's not a whole like agenda thing with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't going to pretend, we ain't going to downplay that. And I can't be with a man that does not understand that. For one thing, just to gaslight people in general with their experience, no matter what color, what race, whatever gender they are, age, however you identify, to just downplay somebody's experience is very, to me, very, it's like inhumane. Like, you know what I mean? So I side eye people that just like try to just sweep things under the rug and be like, oh, we're just gonna just credit your experience. Like, oh, it doesn't matter, you know? Um, no. Like, you'll never know unless you walk in someone's shoes. And like, to say that it's not a thing going on, you're just choosing to be blind. And I find that to be very um very weird, or very weird. I can't be with a man that's like, that doesn't understand your plight as a woman. Shit, as a woman, okay. But as a black woman, yes, if you don't even understand the plight of what that's like, and you just like, oh, just, like, I can't, I cannot. A friend, you know, you can't understand it, and you don't want to understand, or you can't hold space or whatever. I'm not gonna make you understand. I'm not gonna make you. I'm just gonna be like, well, bitch, fuck you, ninja, fuck you. Okay, you just, the people that are for you, that are for you. You know. All right, enough said. So pack light, okay? Pack light. Let me see what you're saying, Tawanda. I can't stand when people that are in fact tell you to make it about race. Like, yeah, like literally, if you go on TikTok, it's like, why do y'all got to bring this shit up? Like, why are black women always in your motherfucking mouth? Like, why can't we just motherfucking exist? Like, I don't understand. Like, it always got to be something brought into it. Somebody making an opinion. Oh, if black women just do that and they just do that. Like, no. Why can't we just exist? Why? I don't understand. Everybody else gets to blow up their lips, blow up their asses, put on fake nails and eyelashes and weaves. But when black women do it, oh, they hate themselves so much. Oh my God. Motherfuckers can dye their hair colors that aren't their natural hair and just walk around. Nobody blinks an eye. But like, black women can't do shit. We can't wear our own natural hair without that being a problem. So I just like, just, you know, like, whatever. Fuck y'all. I can't do it. And that's why I'm like, it's some weird energy. It's really weird. Like, what is y'all problem for real? Like, can somebody explain what's y'all real problem? For real. I just don't get it. It really makes you wonder. What did we do to y'all? Because last time I checked, we was breastfeeding people's babies and cooking and cleaning and getting, ard by other people's husbands, and being have forced miscarriages and things like that, getting whipped, being sold. Last time I checked, we was being put in zoos and things like that. So just tell me where the hatred is coming. Like, why y'all? What's the hatred? Why? Like, what's like? I'm trying to understand. You know, if you express it, you're an angry black woman. You know, you can't say nothing. You know, you got to be a palatable black person, you know, to get along. You got to be a little mellow and a little yellow. Otherwise, you just too much. Mm-mm. I don't understand it. Like, somebody help me understand collectively. Anybody got a spiritual understanding of that? Why that is? And yes, I'm passionate about the shit because I really want to understand. Me and my sisters, and my aunties, and my grandmothers, and all that, we want to know. Okay, we the mothers, we want to know what's y'all problem, what's y'all beef, what's the world's beef? Because we just be minding our motherfucking business. But anywho, how will settling or setting a boundary benefit you? What's the reward behind standing in your power? I feel like this one is the easy one. Let's see. Spirit. Shoot, child. I had to go on a tangent now. I can't. I gotta understand. One day, we gonna uncover it. We'll figure it out. The collective of us want to know, like, what should be for us? Like, why? What do we do? Like, what do we do? I don't understand. All right. Anywho, all right. Setting boundaries. What is that going to do for you? Ace of Swords, Eight of Cups, Seven of Wands, Eight of Pentacles. It's also going to help you stay focused. It's going to help you stay focused in the things that really matter to you, because some of this energy may have taken away from you. And once it's like, I'm protecting me at all costs, I can focus on the things I need to focus. I remember I had a couple of friends like this. We was always just doing a lot of nothing, just gossiping, talking all day about nothing, just talking about ninjas all day. Oh, he said this, he did this, and just getting just all caught up in stuff that doesn't matter. Going out, just doing nothing. Just that was just our whole focus. Oh, let's wake up, go to work, do nothing, talk about nothing, chase men. When you're in that young bitch phase, you're just like, you're not focused on things that really matter. Like, yeah, it's good to have a hustle and things like that, have goals, but oftentimes it's like, I had to center the man or the men in my life, and they're not even men yet, and mentally they're still like just as stupid as you are, right? At that point in your life, y'all still figuring it out, but you just waste your time. You're not focused on anything constructive. And then when those people are removed out of your life, you notice that, or you make that decision to say, I'm going to focus on X, Y, and Z and better myself. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When you remove yourself from those people that are essentially just distractions, or things in your life that are negative and keep you in that negative headspace, you start to notice yourself becoming more productive. You start shifting the things around you. And that's kind of what I'm getting. Like, it's not something that's easy. When you set certain boundaries, the boundaries that you're going to have to set is going to be with people that you've been giving to. And it's going to start to feel like a guilt, because emotionally you've been pouring, and it's almost like you're this well, like you a soup kitchen. You waiting for everybody to come in and have their bowls out. I like to have some more. Just coming in. Have you ever seen that movie? That movie is old as shit. Um, I'm not that old though, but I know what that movie is. It's like old ass movie. I think it's like Oliver something. I can't remember the name of this movie. It's like an old ass movie with a little orphan little boy. But just like people, just the orphans, they just coming in like, it's a soup kitchen. They ready for you to pour them some more, and you set up shop. You ready to go. Like, what time you got. Like, oh, this person gonna be coming. Oh, this person, they need me. This, and then when you stop doing that, it's gonna feel like you're not feeding the orphans anymore. It's like you're a bad person because you're not feeding these people, right? When is the gig up for you? That's not your job to feed everybody. That's not your job. And maybe that's a bad way to put it, like the orphans, because the children inside, I shouldn't have used that. But like, just these people that pose themselves as like, oh, I can't fix myself and I got to come to everybody else my problems, or I need this. You think you can loan me $100 and my life is the shit. It's just down the drain, right? Type people, or people that need to use you as like, and this is the sick energy, the sick people, you know, Oliver Twist. Yes, I think that's what it's called. But the sick energy where people need you to, I don't want to use the word punching bag, but that's what's coming to me, like as their only means of feeling better about themselves is making you feel bad. And sometimes it's the people that have the good heart that just kind of get taken advantage of, or just like, yeah, you can, I'm here. You need somebody to take it out on, here I am, right? And that's not your job either. So some people just feel better when they can just let off on somebody else or make them feel 10 times worse because that's how they feel about themselves. And instead of beating their own selves down, they'll do it to somebody else. So it will feel like a kind of it feels like it's a disorder because you've been so used to pouring in, pouring in, pouring in, pouring in, and pouring in. And when you don't, you're like, oh, I feel like a shitty person. Uh, I'm a horrible person. But then when you really get to that place where you're like, I don't play about my energy. I don't play about me. I don't play about what I got going on. When you're in that, you can focus. Some of y'all, you have distractions around you, like taking you off a path or off of a focus of something that you should have been focusing on all along, or that's something that had your attention, and then something comes in and it distracts you. That's another thing how you know. When you're on the roll, you're on the track, you're doing good, and you let somebody into your space, into your life, and into your heart, into your mind, or whatever, some of y'all in your bodies, then it's like everything starts to crumble and you don't understand. You got to look at the people, like what they got going on, what's their life like? Because it just seems like I have so many testimonies for days, because I don't want y'all to just think that I'm like coming down on y'all preachy, because no, like we all have life experiences. Like this shit is like it happens, right? We all have those people that we've allowed into our space because we just didn't, know any better, or we just didn't value ourselves enough, or maybe not valued ourselves at all at some points. And we've been taught to lay down and just let it be, just be that doormat, like that human doormat, just laying flat on the ground, be like, you can step on me if you want to. You can scuff your shoes on me. It's all right. I understand. You're home now. Come on in. No. Mm-mm. No. No, 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 no. No. The people that always got the problems all the time, and it's like, everybody else can just catch it. It's just, I hate to use this example because I've used this like in the past before, I think, but like a innocent person that's hanging out with the gangbanger homeboys, right? And they're just having a good time minding their business, and the homeboys get into it with some other people, and instead of the homeboys getting it, that innocent person, that person that has things go, it's kind of like the Ricky in, what's it called, the Boys in the Hood, like wrong place, wrong time. You this certain consequences of the company that you keep. And if you allow yourself to be like, oh, that's my family, oh, this and that, like at what point do you say like, nah, I'm not gonna kick it with y'all because I know what y'all into, and I know that some things can always be avoided, but it's like some choices and some people that you're around, it's like it always seems to be the people that have the good intentions is doing something. When they're around the wrong people, it's like that that bad lesson, maybe for those that are living that lifestyle, maybe to change their lifestyle. I don't know, but it's sad that the person that is on track with their life gets caught up in the mess. But at the same time, it's like you got to make that choice for yourself. Like, are these people worth it? And that's what I always go back to when I think about that friend that I had. I was in so many dangerous things, and it took one thing that really, really like affected me, and I'll never forget it. And I even forgave her after that. I was still friends with her. I still hung out with her after that, even though she didn't take full accountability. What can I expect from somebody that didn't even respect herself and still went back to that dangerous situation? It took warning after warning in my dreams to say, no, you're playing with your life. And like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what would have transpired or could have been with her. Like, it might have been worse if I could have, kept hanging out with her and saying, "Oh, I've known you since second grade, so that excuses, your bad behavior. That excuses me for just being careless with my life." No. Mm-mm. No. 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 All right. So the reward in this is like you can get shit done in your life. You'll progress. Some of you guys are very close to goals. Like it's not hard, and you'll find that like, oh, it's not hard to excel or to do or to progress, to graduate, to whatever it is that your goal is. You'll see that it's not that hard when you get to that place where you really just don't fucking play around with your energy. You just don't have time for it. It kind of like it's in between that feeling of, oh, it's bittersweet, like I feel like the bad person, I feel like a bad guy, right? To that point where you almost are like, no, like I gotta be honest, I have to be straight up. Like if you take it the wrong way, if you take it as me being, you know being very stern, or you take it as me being dismissive, like I'm so sorry. Like, you got to get to that place. Like, people have their own life to live, their own journey, and so do you. And your life is not dependent upon what somebody else's, what they do with their life. You can't make people change. They have to want to change for themselves. You're not responsible for that. You know, some parents, when they raise their kids and their kids become adults and they make life choices, sometimes they get on themselves. And I do feel like bad parenting can definitely play a role in some people's upbringing, and how their upbringing, how they become as adults. But sometimes a parent can be a really good fucking parent, their kid's still bad as shit. Even if you put the fear of God in them, people have the fear of God in a sense, and they still out here like, oh, God gonna forgive me, right? The Christian beliefs, they're still running around. So it's like you got to give yourself some grace. Like, you can't change nobody. You cannot. You can do your best to be an example maybe, and wish them well and want the best, but it is not your job to lay down and just like let people walk all over you, because it kind of gives them the open space to continue to do what they're doing. There's no accountability. There's no saying like, nah, this don't work. This isn't healthy. You're not going to get away with this. You could try that shit with somebody else, because people are going to bounce around where people will allow them to. It's like the homosexual men, where they like to, get in where they fit in with women just so they can have a place to stay, right? They'll pretend like they're your man or whatever, but if you say no, you can't come in, I bet you they got somebody on backup on speed dial that might let them in, right? And just use up and take up, their time and their energy, their money, whatever else they're gonna take from you. And you can't let people do that with you energetically. Your house is you. You're just no. The door is not open to fools. I'm sorry. And bums. Okay? It's just not open to that. I know that sounds harsh, but some people just they choose. You gotta be real. Like, if you don't be real with like what is like people that are choosing not to do better with themselves, you gotta call it what it is. People that just want to just live in their bullshit and just, oh, woe is me, I don't want to change, I ain't doing nothing, it's everybody else's fault. You gotta see them for what they are. Because if you just go, oh, well, I feel so bad because, that's my friend, that's my cousin. Oh, I love him. I love him. That's mine. I'm gonna stick beside him. And like, I bet you if you got into a better situation, they ain't gonna stick beside you, you know? And users always got supply. Trust me and believe me. Users are gonna find another supply. That's just what they gonna find it. If you don't have it for them, they gonna find another dealer and be like, hey, you got that for me? You got the hookup. They're gonna get their itch. Trust me, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get that hit that they need. So you can't feel bad. They're trust me. Users, they the best hustlers energetically. They know if they can play this game for keeps, they will. Until they get tired, and sometimes it's getting tired with their own fucking selves, but half the time they don't, because it's so easy to just be like, oh, well, it's somebody else's fault. Oh, they did this to me. Oh, this happened, woe is me. The bus just passed me by, you know, like, and you didn't show up on time, but oh, the bus just, them type of people. Like, no, 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 no. you just get tired, you get tired of being used and abused, and it's like you gotta turn that mirror onto yourself, like what's up? Like why, like what's wrong with me that I just keep allowing it? Like I'm telling you, ain't no I'm about to say something real nasty. Lord forgive me. Hold on. How do I reword this? There's no peen in the world that's that good, or that no kitty cat that's that good, child. And I know you think so. I know. I know. I get it. Trust me. But if you think about like this one thing, because this is the thing. I had this conversation with my friends. I want the ladies to chime in because I feel like ladies, like sometimes we'll trick ourselves into thinking that something is good when it's not, because that attachment is there. Like when I think about some of my, my little, experiences, that type of experience. Yes, there was some genuine, like, real good sensations. But sometimes I think that the trauma bond is also like how someone interacts and exchanges with your body, how they treat your body is also a form of that toxicity. So like if someone is not delicate with you, because like growing, I don't want to say growing older, but I should say growing wiser and more loving towards myself, and that includes my body. I don't want somebody that's just like always rough, and like there's no true and like true connectivity, no true intimacy. You don't feel loved, you don't feel like, even if it is like real passion and it gets real like rough in the sense, it's like it's a feeling, it's a comfortability, it's an openness, it's sacred. But when it's coming from somebody that really doesn't love you the way that you deserve to be loved, you're tricking yourself into thinking that this person that is like abusing my body, it feels good. No. I learned this about myself, that yeah, it's like you're in a fight instead of being loved. Yes, if you really look at that shit spiritually, like just sit with that. And it's 11:11 p.m. Sit with the energy and like think back on these experience. Like was that really a pleasurable experience, or was it because I was in trauma that my body was accepting you know what I'm saying? Like that exchange. Cuz I had to sit with myself. I'm like, experiencing that again, coming into like a level of awakening, it was nothing about it that I enjoyed at all. And I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like you can tell, like, this ain't it. This is not right. This ain't what the right energy is, the right person. It gives an energy of just trauma in my mind. That's how I'm seeing it. And we've been programmed through these, adult films and stuff like that. There's certain things like you don't see too much, like, I mean, it's entertainment, but like the programming that it does psychologically to a man and woman's mind. And I know, I understand that some people are into like the pain stuff. I mean, I get it, I understand that, people like certain things. I get it. But like just like, couples that are in the act and they doing what they do, a lot of times it is a lot of rough, handling. It's nothing real sacred and delicate, and it's like something is so sacred as entering into someone's space, like that is a that is a privilege that, not everybody should be able to experience it. I don't think people really understand just how sacred that exchange is supposed to be, because we just made it so normalized to just be just nasty and just do it with whoever because we feeling a little tingling down there, or we getting hard down, like, you know it's on go. Like, okay, you're not thinking about who you're entering in, and you're not thinking about who you're allowing to enter you. It's a privilege for somebody to even go into that, because that's the closest you're going to get to being inside of you know what I mean, like your soul. Like when somebody loves you, like that's a privilege. It's a pleasure, not just sexually, it's a spiritual pleasure, because that's the closest that we can be, where I feel like I'm a part of you and you're a part, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think people get that. I don't know. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. Like, I don't think people understand that. and y'all sitting here laying down with gremlins and trolls and just all kind of just filthy energy people. And then you're wondering like why you're just miserable or why your mind is just whacked and you can't think straight, and because like you lay down with somebody and that exchange was not a transaction that was a good one. It's almost like you got scammed. Like somebody sold you something and you believed in what they were selling and they scammed you. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a transaction that was a healthy business exchange. And I don't want to use it like that, but like if we're talking about the exchange of an energy, there's nothing beneficial or edifying with sleeping with the wrong person. In your mind you think because you busted that nut that was you got what you wanted, and you just in your head like, oh, that was so mind-blowing. But in the end of it, after the fact, like what has that done for you? Maybe you'll be able to roll over and go to sleep and feel good, but you just wasted your energy with somebody that wasn't for you, or you exchanged it with the wrong person. So it's just it's not one of those things that I feel like people should take lightly. You know, it's a beautiful thing to be able to experience a person and be interlocked in a way, because it's so intimate in a way that the only two people that could ever experience being inside of that sacred womb and that sacred space is a child and their partner. And I feel like that's a very intimate relationship, the relationship with your child and your partner, in a way that no one else can experience that with you, but with, your partner and your child, if that makes sense, to be able to experience being inside of your temple, your body, your womb space. Like that's very powerful. I don't think people get it. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing too much. I don't know, but oh Lord, my tea is all cold and shit. I'm just doing it to soothe my throat because my throat is still feeling like I gotta get that down. I gotta clean that down. But yeah. Long story short, what new blessings will come once your energy is protected? That's a good question. I don't want to put these cards back in. I'm gonna leave these ones out. I forgot to use the the Osho tarot. The Osho, I think it is Osho. I forgot to clarify with those, but I will with this one. So, what blessings will come your way once you protect your energy in that way that you're being guided to? What blessings? The Hierophant, the Queen of Cups, the Three of Cups. Better connections, better relationships, child, just in general. I feel like that dedication, healthier relationships, connections that will help you to grow, you help them grow. That relationship with yourself is it's protected, you know. My heart is sacred. My energy is sacred. It's ever flowing, right? I feel like the Queen of Cups, your affirmation is my heart and my energy is sacred, it is ever flowing. That's the Queen of Cups affirmation. So we got the Queen of Wands with I don't chase, I attract. The Queen of Pentacles, her affirmation is I bring space in I bring value into every space that I occupy. Queen of Cups, my heart and my energy is sacred. It is ever flowing. Okay? That's her affirmation. Okay? That's for anyone that wants to take that. Like your energy, your heart is sacred. It's ever flowing. The Three of Cups, these are beautiful connections that you're going to start pouring into, because this could be existing connections that you already have where you're pouring into these connections more. You're not focusing on what or who doesn't care about you, who doesn't love you, who doesn't respect you, who doesn't like you, whatever, who got beef with you. Like it doesn't matter. You're not pouring into that. You're not focused on that. You're focusing on those that do pour into you and you pour into them, because you'll see the proper exchange. You'll see the proper flow of energy. It's not stagnant. It's not an unfair, exchange. Let's clarify. And then we'll get into the little ritual. I didn't really I'm gonna be honest, I don't have all the stuff together. I'm gonna just I want y'all to kind of do it, for yourselves. I'll try to demonstrate the best that I can. But yeah, let's see. What blessings? Breakthrough. Yes. Playfulness, ordinariness. Like, you might get comfortable with, because sometimes people think that peace is boring sometimes. Like, I ain't got no drama. I don't have people blowing my phone up. I don't have all these people, like, just it's if you're not used to peace and calm in your life, you have to be overstimulated with a lot of stuff. And even people that have busy lives and, schedules, they still make time for themselves. They'll still make that time and that space for peace, you know? And some people might be like, oh, that might be boring or that's ordinary, but boring and ordinary sometimes is healthy. If not often, it's very healthy. If your life is, you're truly genuinely at peace and there's no drama, or when people try to bring drama to your doorstep, you don't allow it. Or if you find yourself, trying to crash out, you bring yourself back to center. Like, that is healthiness. So you have playfulness, you have breakthrough. You don't have time for the foolery of the clowns, but you know how to clown and have a good time, or just be in that joy state, like not giving a fuck. So with the breakthrough card, this is like that glass being broken, that glass ceiling. So it could be mental things, like things that, excuse me, that you believed, that were keeping you stuck in like just in this box, this limited box that doesn't exist anymore for you. Okay. That doesn't exist. Sometimes that glass ceiling is, it's just an illusion and you break through it. If you could see through it, break that shit. Break it. Discovery. Guilt. Yep. Completion. Discovery is like that heart chakra work. That heart chakra work is, it's going to bless you every time. It's going to bless you. The heart chakra is going to bless you every time, because that's where you really understand compassion. And you cannot have compassion for others if you can't hold space for yourself, have that compassion for yourself. You can't really have that, because that energy can look like slavery if you're not careful. You think that you're doing good deeds, and it could come from a kind place, but if you're doing it from a place where your heart is not centered, or it's not in a healthy state, or you don't have that healthy relationship with yourself, you'll be tricked into thinking that over giving is something that is good, when it's not. It's actually harmful. It's actually a disservice to you and to the people that need to be taking accountability for themselves. It keeps them in that stagnancy, that repetitive energy or cycle, not seeing themselves, not being held accountable in the way that they should, right? That, because that guilt, release that guilt. That guilt is held deep within the self. It's like, I have to, like, see that person in the back that's like drunk and shit. She just back there, just, what was me? I'm gonna just drink myself away. And you're just like, oh, I got you. It's okay, mama. I got you. I'm a, no, it's like, mama, I'm a iron this for you. But you going somewhere, you got to get up. You got to go get help, sis. You got to go to, you need to get some help. Let's go. Let's get up. And if she say, I don't want to do it, then you just like, well, you know what? I'm done ironing. I ain't got time for this shit. That you got to get real. Maybe not harsh like that, but it's just like, you know what? If you don't want better for yourself, I don't know what to tell you, And you see how this poor woman, she chained. She's chained. She's not doing this solely only because she wants to. She feels a sense of guilt. And that's why I said, if you're not centered in your heart and you don't have that space of compassion for yourself, that value, understanding your value, you'll trick yourself into thinking that overgiving is a good deed. But there's a part of you that feels like, I have to do this, and that's not a genuine place. It's not coming from a genuine place when you do that. It's time to lay that shit to rest. It's time to lay it to rest. And for some of you, it's like being held on to people that have passed on, maybe holding on to, like, some sort of program around these people that have already passed on and transitioned, or people that are no longer in your life and you're still holding on to the energy of them when it's like it's time to lay that energy to rest with love. I appreciate the experience. It doesn't mean that you'll never think about them ever again, but the power that they've held over you energetically is being laid to rest. Some of y'all might need to do like a ritual where you bury whatever it is in the ground, or give it back to source God to just transmute that energy and release it in love. So I'm gonna pull one more card and then we'll get into the ritual because this is a really long, but hopefully y'all enjoyed it. I know it's really late. It's 11 o'clock here. All right, so I'm just gonna ask Divine Source, what is a question to ask yourself in regard to everything that we gathered, anything that spirit needs us to know? Ain't no one got time for that. Yes, there's no progression or elevation, just stagnancy and misery. Yes, I just read your message, KA, but yes. All right, and stop. Death, the death card. It says, what situation in your life is transforming and changing to bring about something new? And it looks like this woman is hugging her inner child. It's like they're dressed the same. And again, extending yourself that grace and that love. Excuse me. And this could be with your inner child that has experienced certain things that have kind of out of the course of your life, you believed that certain things you had to keep going. You had to keep pouring in this way because that's what you were taught. You were taught that you had to kind of hold space for everyone else but yourself. It was like a guilt trip type energy maybe around this. And there's a lot of beliefs, a lot of very stricken beliefs. And I'll say this as a Christian born child that was christened in Christianity from birth. That that mental energy around like that servitude energy in a way of like it's very crippling in a sense. Like there's beautiful things to take from Christianity, yes, or out of the Bible, but if you really pay attention to it, it's a lot of this strong belief around suffering. And that's one thing that I no longer resonate with that I have to suffer in order to gain. Because that belief is like why we kind of settle in situations that are not for us, because we're like, if I suffer a little bit longer, it's going to be okay. And a lot of people in toxic connections, not just romantic ones, but toxic relationships with other people, fellowship with other people, sit within the trauma so long and just take it because they feel like subconsciously there's a reward in this in the end. This person is going to be everything that I want, or this person is just going to love me one day, or this person is going to one day see that they appreciate me and they value me, or whatever the case may be. Or the world is just going to accept me once I just take it. No. And they do a good job with this, not even in the just in the Jesus story. The Jesus story is very powerful in a certain way, but if you don't if you don't decode things in a way that can empower you, if you're just kind of taking it in and digesting it without reading the ingredients, right? You just eating the shit. You don't know what you're eating. You're taking into your spirit. Just on the surface of things, you're being taught that being used and abused for the sake of everybody else is going to give you a reward. And that is, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I just don't. I understand sometimes that you have to be an example for other people to get it and to wake up, but to say, oh, I'm just going to take this beating and then, after this, you know, it's better. No. But I understand, like, Christianity is a major program in a lot of ways. It really is. Like, it's probably one of the biggest programs ever in this planet, in this universe. It is one that If you're lucky to not have been conditioned by that in a way, and by way of the church, and not in your own interpretation or experiencing that, or coming into it and learning it on your own without that conditioning and that brainwashing, and almost like forcing, ritualistically, you know, being forced and conditioned into that belief and those ideologies, so much so that you're afraid to break away from it because you're afraid of going to hell. To that point, that's a whole nother topic. I forgot to talk. I've been saying this for over a year or two that I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it one day. Because it's still on my heart. That church trauma, that church hurt, as they call it, that is a real thing, and I'm sure a lot of my girlies have stories for days. It, you know, we're gonna talk about it one day. We're gonna talk about it because it's a thing. It's really strong. But anywho, so that was a collective reading. Now let's get to um the ritual here, our protection. So 105.55. Oh wow, a lot of fives. I hope there's some change going on here. Hopefully. All right, so anywho, so this ritual will be just a little simple but yet powerful way to cleanse and protect and reinforce boundaries. So, oh, before you get started with your ritual, I feel like journaling is always a good thing. Like when you're doing something with the intention of release, especially like releasing, closing, clearing out, or even setting intentions. It's always good to journal. It's good to journal things. So one of the things that I would ask myself with this situation is, in the beginning of doing your ritual, where have you been ignoring your need for boundaries? So that you're able to pinpoint that, so that you're able to remind yourself, like, that's something that I need to reinforce, or I need to be mindful of when something like this pops up or challenges me. How can you reinforce your boundaries without guilt? That's the biggest, I feel like that's the biggest thing when it comes to setting boundaries, where it's not easy, or when it's not with the people that's easy to do that with. The guilt thing, that is, I feel like that's one of the top things when it comes to reinforcing boundaries, that people have those challenges, is like that guilt. um what fears come up when you set a boundary? That's a good thing to tap into. What is a fear that pops up when you think about reinforcing a boundary? And if it's fearing a person, then we got a problem. Like, we shouldn't be fearing nobody when it comes, like, at all. But when it comes to something that's healthy for you, um, how can, wait, what is one spiritual tool or affirmation that helps you maintain your energy? So that could be something that also brings you back to center. So what you'll need is, I'm going to use a jar, like this mason jar. It's like a medium sized one. You can use a small one, you can use a large one. It's really up to you. Or you can use like a little pouch, like maybe a black pouch, preferably something that's not see through. Um, or you can get a cloth and like wrap your ingredients and then wrap it, shut it tight. But I'm gonna use a jar. I don't have my salt with me, but I would dress this with some sort of salt, preferably like a Himalayan salt or sea salt. If you want to get into the black salt, you can. I've had some good results with that. It had some people that not even want to come over to the house when I did that. When I put it on, I put it out, and people was like, you I'm not coming in. I'm like, I bet you ain't. But yeah, I don't know, it's up to you. You can do that. Anything, any herb that has that protective energy. I have some rosemary because I feel like rosemary is one of them things. So, like, you could put your rosemary in there, or any herb that it could be dry, it could be organic and fresh. This is a little dried now, but you can put that in there. You can put something that represents like your softness, your love for self. You can put some roses in there. You could put some black tourmaline, some rose quartz, something that is like, it's protective, but is also reminding you why you're protecting yourself. something that also it's like it means something to you. If it was up to me, child, I would have a scorpion in this motherfucker. Like if it was up to me, I put a scorpion in my jar. I probably even like yell no. Like let you know, like I would just yell or speak into my jar and close that shit. Something very powerful in that motherfucker and then seal the shit. That's what I would do. Um, you can, you could do that. Um, I wouldn't have a live scorpion. That's it's cruel. So I would, if I could find me like a scorpion that's already, he flat. Put it in here. I scream in this motherfucker no or whatever affirmation that I need to and seal this fucker. That's my protection jar. Um, you can put other things that repel, like black pepper is good. You can use black pepper too. You can use peppers, like the spicier the better. Some people like to put like nails and pins and shit in their shit. I mean, you could do that. That's like real, like I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a form of like protecting your energy, like pins and needles and stuff like that. You, if you want to go there. Um, hmm. If you want to, if you feel safe, like you could get like one of these chime candles and sit it in there, like a white candle, preferably, or maybe even red, something that you feel like enforces empowerment for you, and light it. With the intention of what you're doing, and then when it's done, seal it. So if you want to like put an affirmation, demand, command, whatever, and then seal it up, you can do that. After you light your candle and set that intention, it's up to you. But like your jar is what you make it. Um, what else? I wouldn't put water in there. Yeah, I mean it's really up to you. Like I said, you can put like, crystals that you feel guided to use. You want to use salt, whatever color salt you want to use or type of salt, it's up to you. Like salt is salt with the intention, or pepper or peppers, like a actual pepper in the jar. The hotter the better, you can use that. But it depends on like what your intention is with your boundaries and your protection. If you want some shit like like don't even motherfucking try me type shit, then you get with the spicy shit. You get with the that the nails and shit. I don't know about the nails though. Like I've heard of people doing that. I don't know. I mean, hey, if that's what you know. But it can just be as simple as like, putting in those herbs and things that you feel like, protects the black tourmalines and things like that, or speaking an affirmation into your jar and closing it and sealing it. But I want it to be something that is extremely empowering for you when you kind of struggle to enforce those boundaries, or it depends on whom with. I don't want you to make this jar about anybody. Make it about you. You know, if you want to make it a one size fit all, like where people respect your boundaries, your energies, you could state that in your own way. Don't try to, force the energy on anybody, but it's centered around you, and anyone that is disrespectful of those boundaries, or just charge that energy to empower yourself, to remind yourself to enforce those boundaries, to be confident in what you're doing, why you're doing it. You're doing it for yourself out of love of yourself. That's it. It's not about anybody else. When you walk in that, it's like, okay, well, people want to try it, and they're going to try it. But you control your energy and your power, and you stand in that. And if you have a hard time with doing that, you can set your jar with the intention of standing in that power boldly, 10 toes down, because again, that energy of guilt, and I would encourage you to release the guilt and whatever fears. If you wrote down the journal, the questions to journal for yourself and sit with it, that would help you before you get into your session when it comes to setting your intention of what you want to do with your jar, or with your bag. So it's like if it's a mojo jar or a bag, a mojo bag, it's up to you how you want to go about it. Because like I said, like we can set intentions with the tools that we have, but we are our biggest ritual spell. Like we are that. Like we are that. We gotta it's all about our own energy within ourselves and what we walk in, right? And our belief, our faith, our knowing, our trust in what we're doing and how we're moving, the intentions that we set. It starts within self. So with that being said, that is the live, y'all. I hope you guys appreciate it. I know this was like dang, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. Just I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope you took something from this. I hope you did. But yeah, that was a live. That was a live. I'm about to make me some more tea, y'all. I got to rest, y'all. I got some stuff to do this weekend that I need to tend to. And I need the scrant. I got to have the scrant to do it. So I appreciate you guys so much. It's been my pleasure. I love doing these. We're going to keep this thing going. I'm going to try to fit that Venus retrograde energy in one of our lives before it's over, you know. Thank you. I appreciate that, sis. Yeah, if anybody know where I could find a scorpion, I'm just like, no, I'm for real. Like, I just I could see it. Like I don't want them to be in there just like going crazy. I feel like that's torture. I don't want to do that. But if you know when he just or they just I'll a spider too. I love spiders actually. Just don't touch me. But I don't mind them. They be in my room sometimes. Like they'll be. I used to just let them hang in here. I'm like, you ain't gonna do nothing to me. You ain't like you're not gonna bite me or anything. I just let you be. Because sometimes I feel like that's just like divine feminine energy, very powerful, very wise, old soul energy. So I just let them do what they want to do. I let them do what they want to do. I just leave them. But yeah, I mean that too. Shoot, that divine feminine energy, the scorpions. I don't fuck with snakes. I wouldn't put a snake in a jar either. I seen this tequila though. I do want to try this tequila. I seen a tequila with some with the snake in it, and I was like, that's kind of interesting. I think I would try that. I think I would. I don't know. I think I would. But yeah, if you just want to something earthy, you know. I used to collect insects. I'm so mad I don't have that book. I had this book where I would collect some insects, like the weirdest insects I would find. Because, like, living in the desert, there's a lot of different insects. And I used to keep a book of them, like, in middle school. I don't know what happened to that book, but if I had some of them motherfuckers, if I could use, them for some work, thank you for your presence, your energy. Because I believe in the power of animals and insects and things like that. So, the charging the better, you know. But because people nasty, like they got lollipops. I don't know if y'all ever been to like some airports and stuff. Depending on where you are, probably like on the West Coast, Midwest, maybe the South. They have like those scorpion candies with the real scorpions in it. It's so nasty. Like who gonna eat that? Like what's wrong? Like why would you want to eat? I don't know. I'll let y'all on a little secret. I ate a cricket before when I was thinking middle, no, probably like elementary school, like probably fourth or fifth grade. They had like it was Mexican Culture Week or something, and they were talking about like how they would eat fried insects and like chocolate covered and flavored. I had one that was like I think it was, I don't know, let's say like sour cream or something, onion type. It was like a weird seasoning. So I've ate an insect before. It's it's kind of like them crunchy, dried shrimps that you get like at the Mexican markets, and they got like the chili on them, and it kind of tastes like that. And some people probably would never, but I've tried it. I know that's kind of nasty, but I've tried it for sure. Used to caterpillars, tadpoles. I remember in school we used to have tadpoles, and we used to keep them and put them in like little jars and stuff with water. I don't know why, but child, we did. But you ate worms, or am I reading that wrong? makes me think about the book where the kid ate the worms. Ew. Seemed like that was on a movie. It was like on a kid movie, like back in the day. Somebody was they tricked them and they were eating worms. They thought it was like spaghetti or something. What I don't. Oh, I want to say it's like Harriet the Spy. Speaking of, the actress just passed away. I want to watch that. That used to be my movie, but I can't remember. I'm seeing it like I could see it in my head, but I can't remember what movie it's from. But it seemed like it was that, but I could be wrong. I don't remember, but it was like I think they tricked this kid into thinking that they were eating spaghetti or something, and it was worms or something. I don't know. I could be tripping. Yeah. Um. I'm gonna look up. I gotta find Harriet the Spy. That was my shit. I used to love that movie. That investigation and shit. Like I love like 90s movies. I miss those days. The kid movies were everything. But yeah, so that's it for real this time. I'm out. I appreciate you guys. Much love as always for popping on, hopping on, joining on so late at night. I know it's so late. I know. Yeah, Harriet the Spy was a good movie. It was a Nickelodeon movie. I remember that back in the day where they had like the little Nickelodeon little slime in the beginning of the movies. I missed that. And then like the Rugrats, I think all the Nickelodeon movies, like the VHSs, they were all orange. I missed that. Thank you. I will. You have a good night as well, y'all. Much love as always. Be blessed, be safe. Until the next one. Peace. Bye. See y'all.